Hey everyone, and welcome back. We are somehow the second latest video. We are about to be done from this course. Somehow done, not fully done, because we still have a lot to be done, but we're in a very good state to publish this project. But before we do so, we have a very important thing to implement, which is a very cool feature. Whenever you have an indie project, you would like to reach as much audience as you can, right? And to do so, you need to target audience from different cultures, and different cultures mean different languages. And in this episode, we are going to implement localization and make our application support multiple languages. What are the languages? They are unlimited. You can support as many as you can. It's all about how you are good at actually writing the thing. So the thing that we are going to implement right now is, as we've said, implementing multiple languages, and we are going to use this library. Actually, right now, it just reached the 25,000 installs. Thank you so much for using it and trusting it. And this one helps you implement multiple languages, and there is somehow like a utility or translator available online that helps you translate your language file into as many languages as you want. And it uses YAML file instead of JSON or XML, which is making the file very lightweight. There is no single quotations, no double quotations, no curly brackets. Yeah, it's very straightforward. Just put your keywords and the meaning over it by English, and this is all what you need to do. You can follow this documentation if you want to follow step by step, but we are going to do all the stuff right now in this video. And while I'm writing the keywords, I'm going to make this video a little bit fast. So the first step is to get started is to open the dependencies, click on manage NuGet packages, and let's search for AKSoftware. We need to install those two, both. We will install this one which references this one, so they will be together. Let's click on install and accept. Here we go. So right now we have it available. And the second step is actually to go to program.cs, and over here we should add that language, what's being called add language container, just like that. Add language container. Here we go. You should add the service, and here you should define, it takes two parameters. The first parameter is the name of the assembly, or the assembly that actually contains the languages file. We are going to create that in a bit, but the assembly that will contain the languages files is the current assembly. So you call it get executing assembly. And here you define the name of the folder that contains the languages file. We will keep it the default one, which is resources, just like that. So this is the second step, very straightforward. And right now, actually, you are just ready to go ahead and start writing your files. So let's go and create that folder that's called resources. And right now, let's try to add a file actually, which is a YAML file. The first file that you should create is the English of the United States file, which is this should be like your main file, just in case you need to use the online translator. If you don't want to use the online translator, you can create any file, but you're going to use that. And actually, English is the main language for this project, so of course you're going to create an empty file .yaml. So yeah, again, I'm using this extension of add a new file. You can install it from here. It's called add new file. This is a very powerful extension, or you can actually create any file just easily by clicking on new item, choose like any kind of those. I think you have empty somewhere, and you should call it like that. Okay, here we go. That's clear. And this is it. Right now you can write your keywords over here. So when you are starting building the project with keeping the localization in mind, this means you're going to create this and implement these things from the beginning. So whenever you create a new component, you directly go ahead and add the words that actually related for it directly in this file. So that's making things a little bit easier. But for training purposes, we didn't do that because we want to make a separated session about this, and we kept it like to the end. So yeah, right now I will go ahead and fill out all the components, fill out all the words from the components. So I will start by the nav menu. Let's go. Sorry, before the nav menu, we have the error. Okay, here we don't have any if we open up the code behind file, here we go. Yeah, here we have like this one. This should be localized, right? So let's copy it and call it general error. Here we go. This is very simple to write a YAML file. Just put the name of the property and you are just ready to go. So we finished from the first component. I'll just do a 2 or 3 component, then I will make this video a little bit fast. Do not waste your time watching this. Let's go to the nav menu. Here we have home, plans. So plans, add a plan. And we have about, I think. Yeah, it was about. So you should add all of them. And of course, you can use the nested objects. Like if you want to put those like within an object, of course, you can do so by saying, for example, nav menu. This is how you create an object, by putting a space over here. Then you can cut this and add a set of spaces. So right now, those are nested within the nav menu. This allows you to use home again in another object. But for this one, it's up to you how you would like to use them. I will keep them flat. I think that's okay. Like this. Cool. So we have created this nav menu thing. Let's go right now to the component that we have. Start with the login form. Welcome to PlannerApp. So welcome to email required password and we are going to have login, create account, I would call it register, So yeah, you have to find every word and do that. I know this is a boring work just for this because, as I said, we didn't set that from the beginning, but anyway, we are overriding this one. So we already have email, we already have required. We should have first name and last name, I think. So I think this is it. Those are all the keywords that we are using within the application that's not related to the data. So that's good that they are not too much. I don't know why I've left all those spaces over here. Okay. So and the next thing is to go ahead and use this. But before do that, keep in mind that there is a very important step, which is setting this resources file as an embedded resource for the project. So go to the build action after you select the file and set it as embedded resources. What does that mean? This means that this file is being treated like as a normal file, but when you set it as an embedded resources, this means this file will be, when we click build, it's going to be embedded within the final assembly of the project or the DLL that you see at the end. So in this case, it is the name says it is embedded within the DLL. So this is how the library works. It fetches it from
the DLL. So that's cool. Now, all done. The last step, which is just using it within each component. It's a very simple and straightforward process. So I'll go to the first one, which is the login form. And before doing so, I will go to the imports and I will add using AKSoftware.Localization.Mutlilanguages. And right now, I will start using it over here. Sorry, I will go to the code behind and I will inject this. Here we go. So right now, from this language object, you can access this one. So simply, instead of saying welcome to, we're going to say language welcome to, and just like that. You should do the same for every word that you have pasted across the system. This one is required. I'll be working on a new version to actually fetch the words automatically for you and put them in a class. So in that case, you can have access for this directly straightforward without the need to use the strings. But yeah, I'll be working on this in the next period. But for now, this is good. And yeah, one more thing that, sorry, I also forgot that for every component that you see, this language is actually registered as singleton. So whenever we change the language, it should notify all the components that, hey, the language has been changed, and then it should refresh the content, and then those will take effect directly on spot. And to do that, for every component, you have to provide on initialized, and you should say language. Let me add this because I forgot what the name of the property. Localization.Multilanguages.Blazor. Language dot initialize localized component, and you pass this. Like while doing so, then this library will know that this component will be refreshed whenever we change the language. So we have to do the exact same thing also for the login form. So let's copy that, and we should do that actually for every component. Init localized component. So this one will be initializing the component. So after we have done this, let's go right now. They are available over here. Cool. Sorry, let's copy this again. Yeah, it's a working process if you do it for all your app at once, but if you do that on the go, like you start your application and putting that into consideration from the beginning, it's going to be very easy. Like for every component, you just directly initialize it, and so it will become a very easy process. And I think, yeah, sorry, in the plan form, we have also here some errors that needs to be localized as well. Language, it's called file size limit error. Great, great. So I think also error, we need error. So let's copy this and go to the error, this one, and just paste this piece of code as it is, add the required libraries. It's called general error. So if we go to, yeah, it's called general error. And what else? I think we still have just little thing over here, which is the login display just contains this logout button. So logout, this will come. So let's add those both. Welcome, welcome, and logout, logout. So we should do the exact same thing for this one. Just to keep it a little bit steady. And we use language, welcome. We use language, logout. This is an icon, and I think right now all has been localized. We have all the components localized. Hopefully everything is good. We have no issues. So before we implement the change, let's run the application to make sure that it is working fine, and then we can translate those languages and implement other files. Okay, that's perfect, right? If you have a look that we are still seeing the exact same word that we have put, but those are no longer fetched from the HTML, they have been fetched from the language files. And if we click over here, you can see logout, we can see the welcome keyword. If we try to click add a plan, this is the title, description. So all is good, and it is exactly what we are looking for. So you still see the exact same thing that was before we run this project, but as you have seen, we removed those words from the HTML file, and right now they are coming from the localization file. So what we should do right now is actually implement a language feature. It will be beside this one. We will put like a flag, and you click, and then you choose between one of the languages available for you, and then yeah. So the first thing is to have those files translated and to have other files. So to have another languages, all you have to do is just have a clone of those files. It starts with the name of the language dash the name of the culture or the country. So, but this library over here provides you with a utility available online that allows you actually to translate, that provides you with the Power API to translate all the files for you for any language with just one click. So you can use that very easily by clicking on Translate Now, and you should choose your YAML file. So I will pick the YAML file that we have over here. I will take it. So let's open up the resources. Okay, let's take this link. Choose a file. I will choose this, and then I'll click Submit. So whenever you click Submit, you are going to see that those are actually the keyword that you have available, and here a list of all the languages that's supported for you and everything you need. We have a problem here with the flags. I think I need to make a push to update because the flags are no longer here. So for any language you need, like French, just click here and have it downloaded, and that's it. If you need Italian, if you need Korean, like all the things, you don't have to do anything. So for now, we're not going to make it available for Arabic, only for one reason, because Arabic needs it to have the application from right to left, right? And it should be like this, but this feature is still in the preview, it's still like under development in Blazor. So we are going to make a specific video how to implement it in Arabic and have it available and make it available for the project in a later video after it's available. But for now, it's still, I think it is not yet available. So we will stick only for languages from left to right, at least for now. So let's make our application available for German. And once you click on that button, it's going to install the file and translate everything for you. Here we go. This is the German file. And we need it to be available for English, of course. We need it to be available for France, the French language. And let's speak another language. So I will choose Portuguese. Here we go. So right now our application could be available in English, German, French, and Portuguese. That's very simple, right? I don't think this is complicated. So we should open the folder, and I will copy those 3 files as they are, and I will paste them over here. Let's rename them to remove this too. And look at that. All the content has been translated successfully, which is great. Great. Cool. So this is the French content, this is the Portuguese content, and this is the German content, this is the English content. That's very easy. Make sure also to have those as an embedded resources as well. Let's hit save. So that's cool. Right now, let's go to the main layout. I will go to the shared and go to the main layout. And the exact same way we have login display, I will add another called language switcher. So let's add this as a separated component. Razor component, I'll call it language switcher. Okay, here. So exactly the same thing. You know that login display had this, which is mod menu, and we are going to have the exact same thing. Here we will have a mod menu, but instead of the icon of the person, we will have the icon of set the icon of the person. Okay, why it's not working? Here we go. For now, let me suspend this. Oh, we don't have this any longer. All this. Okay, we are going to add this in a bit. Fill language. Here we go. We already have a language icon. That's cool. So the first one, we are going to start with English. Then the second one is going to be German, French, and Portuguese. I think it's being written like that. So this is it. It is something like straightforward. And let's mention this over here. After the login display, where is the main layout? I think we have to close all the tabs but this one. Let's open up the main layout. And over here, we should add language switcher. Okay, that's cool. So this is the language switcher. I will move this to the code behind file. And I will inject the language. Here we go. This is good, guy. Visual Studio 2022, making our life easier. Great. So let's also save the state of this process, right? Just exactly like what we have done for the theme. We should also save the chosen language by the user, and he doesn't need to change it every time he opens the app. That's cool. Great. And right now, why I put it over here and I added all this code instead of having it on the main layout, because it's already existing for the theme switcher. I put it here because we need to have it on the authentication layout, which is a different layout over here. But we need that, so we have to, I'm going to use the exact same component over here directly, just straightforward. So from over here, we are going to use this one to check if actually there is a saved language. And over here, we are going to implement a private async task, change language async. And what we should do is to type await language dot set language. Oh, it is not. And from here you say culture info dot get culture info, and then you pass the name of the language. So I'll pass here string language or culture code, and we pass it over here. Culture code. And actually this one, sorry, it's not awaitable. And then I'm gonna save or say local storage dot set item as a string async, which is language, and pass the culture code. Like this. So this is the change language async. Let me for now just keep this as it is, because we want to test that to see if this one is working good. So now let's call this function from those buttons. Okay. I will use Alt Shift, then press the button. So you can create multiple cursors and type on click. Look at this amazing feature. Create a lambda expression and change language async and pass the code of your language. This is all what you have to do. And sorry, because we already have, let's make those single quotations instead. That's better. And again, here we need a wait, like that. Cool. So let's pass the name. Portuguese. Make sure they are matching the name of the files. Yeah, they are. So because the name of the file is actually inspired by the name of the culture. So this is it. All is good. We have mentioned that over here. So let's see. And if it's working fine, we can just add it to the auth layout and we should be good. Okay, look at that beauty over here. We have this. If we click, if I say German, wow, look at that. That was easy, right? And we can see already here we don't have any words. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at that. We have some words that are not yet localized like those ones, but yeah, that's okay. We have it work. Everything is good. And if we try to use like French, oops. Okay, French looks like it's not working. And if we try Portuguese, it's also not working. Wow, that's funny. Let's try to click on Portuguese. It is not. Okay, and let's try to say German. Okay, let's check the log. If we have any errors. Oh, okay. The update function is not affecting all. It's not affecting all the. Let's say the places at once, and I think I know the reason why. We need to implement an update for this library, unfortunately, but that's okay. This is not from the app, not from the code that we have written. It's just like something to be added to this library and push an update to fix this issue. So it's no longer going to be shown here or there. So that's okay, but at least we have it to work right now for. So the problem is in updating the state for some of the functions. So what we are going to do at the end is, if there is a saved language, if await local storage dot contains key async language, then string culture code equal the weight only if it contains dot contain get item as a string async, and then use this code over here. This is all what we need to have it. So right now it's going to save, and let me just add this little menu to the Auth layout. Here we go. I will just add language switcher like this. So let's run the app. Oh, look at that. It's by default run in German because we have already selected German before, and now if I make it like Portuguese, it got updated to Portuguese. I will refresh the app, and we got it also available for Portuguese by default. So right now Yeah, let me just try to log out because I want to see. Oh, amazing! Look at that. We have everything in Portuguese, and we already have this. And if I try to, if we click on like German, oh wow, that's amazing. So we only need to update the themes for this one. So I'll make sure to put to make a push to do that. So I will migrate the exact same code that we have written for this theme switcher and put it. We are going to do this in the next video. Okay, cool. So all is done. Right now we have migrated the app. If there is some like missing words here or there, you can add that while you're working. But the main goal is that right now you have learned how actually to do that, how you are able to make this, to get this to work, right? And yeah, so we have a multi-languages app that could be used by millions of users around the world, at least somehow. So yeah, that was a very long session. I hope you enjoyed it. And right now you are able to write app that's actually localized and being able to be used by anyone. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe button as usual, and see you in the next one.